Today, inshallah, we are going to read a hadith, a very important and very famous hadith as well, about something that breaks and is something that is going to melt and take away the love of each other, and especially the love of our mashayikh and the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from our hearts, if we are afflicted with that sickness. عن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إياكم والظن فإن الظن أكذب الحديث ولا تحسسوا ولا تجسسوا ولا تناجشوا ولا تحاسدوا ولا تباغضوا ولا تدابروا وكونوا عباد الله إخوانا. अबू हुरैरा रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु से रिवायत है कि रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने इरशाद फरमाया कि तुम दूसरों के मुतालिक बदगुमानी से बचो, क्योंकि बदगुमानी सबसे बड़ा झूठ है। तुम किसी की कमज़ोरियों की टोह में ना रहा करो और जासूसों की तरह किसी के ऐब मालूम करने की कोशिश ना किया करो, और एक दूसरे से बढ़ जाने की बेजा हविस ना करो, और आपस में हसद ना करो, और बोझ और कीना न रखो, और एक दूसरे से मुंह ना फेरो, बल्कि अल्लाह के बंदों अल्लाह के हुक्म के मुताबिक भाई भाई बनकर रहो। Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that you should stay away, protect yourself from, be warned about dhann. What is dhann? Thinking that somebody, whoever is doing something, they really have a bad intention in their heart. They are not doing it for a good reason, they are doing it for a bad reason. That is dhann. فَإِنَّ الظَّنَّ أَكْذَبُ الْحَدِيثِ. If you do that, if you, this kind of a thought, having this kind of dhann, or having this kind of thinking for other people, is the biggest lie, is the worst lie. وَلَا تَحَسَّسُوا. And do not keep on looking for others' faults, others' weaknesses. وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. And do not go looking secretly for the faults of others. وَلَا تَنَاجَشُوا. And do not try to gain precedence, superiority over one another where it's not supposed, where you're not supposed to do it. Useless, pointless effort of overtaking each other. وَلَا تَنَاجَشُوا وَلَا تَحَاسَدُوا. And do not do hasad, do not be jealous, do not hold jealous in your heart. وَلَا تَبَاغَضُوا. And do not do bughz. Bughz is grudge, keeping it in your heart, cultivating it, ill feeling for someone, keeping it growing. وَلَا تَدَابَرُوا. And do not turn your faces away from each other. وَكُونُوا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ إِخْوَانًا. And become slaves of Allah that are like brothers to each other. So one very clear thing is that if we have these kind of things among each other, we cannot fulfill the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of being ibad of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The kind of ibad, the kind of slaves that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be, which is be like brothers. So brotherhood cannot prevail when these kind of things keep on going. The first thing the Prophet ﷺ has said is talking about iyyakum wal-dhann. Be warned about dhann, having bad thoughts about each other. And it is such a huge thing that we do not pay attention to. When we have this, Hazrat Muhaddithin in the explanation of this hadith have written that if you see somebody doing something and there is 100 possibilities that a person may have done something, out of those 100 possibilities, if 99 of them point towards somebody having done something with an evil intent, and there is a single possibility that could have been done with a good intent, you should take the good intention. You should think that he's doing it with a good intent, and do not think about the other 99. Why? Because if you think good of others, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you a reward without asking you for the evidence. On the Day of Judgment, if we think good of someone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward us just because of that we thought we kept a good thinking about such a person. If we think bad about someone, if we think that somebody has done this with an evil intent, whatever they are doing, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask us for evidence. And dhann is where we do not have evidence. Dhann is badgumani, or thinking something evil about someone. We do not have any evidence for it. and we will not be able to present any evidence, and we will be punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it. This one breaks the ties of Muslims, this one breaks the ties of families, this one breaks the ties of students with teachers, with people who are learning deen, with their mashayikh, with their teachers. Al-Hakim al-Ummad rahimahullah has written that only two kinds of people can benefit from me. Only two kinds of people can benefit from me. One is those who are great fuqaha of deen, who have a very good, fine understanding of deen. Because whatever I am doing, they will be able to understand what I am doing and the reason behind it. So they will not run into having an evil thought about me. The other one is that they should be in extreme love with me. If they have extreme love with me, then they will not even think, they will not have this zan about me. They will think that whatever he is doing, he is going to do it the right way. Whatever he is doing, he is going to do it the right way. For example, Al-Hakim al-Ummad, people who used to go to his khanqah, used to live there, they would see him, his breakfast was sumptuous. He would have, you understand, ghee? What is ghee? You understand ghee, right?
Purified butter.
Kind of butter. And almonds and heavy stuff, expensive stuff. And he used to narrate another one of him or his khulafa, that people come to me and have this thinking, they become badguman of me. That they think that what kind of a buzurg, what kind of a saint this person is. Look at what he's eating. The people of Allah are such that they have dry bread that they will dip it in water and eat it and suffice on that. And look at this person, he is this saint, and people are coming from afar and look at his breakfast. He's saying they do not know the kind of work that I am doing for deen, the kind of masail, the kind of books that I am writing. All my day is passed in extreme mental struggle, mental effort. I am doing that, and if you look at his books, his books testify to it. There are testimony that he, in his young age, he wrote such fine points of fiqh, of hadith, of tasawwuf, that he said that as I grew old, as my mental capacities decreased, even I myself would look back and I would wonder what I have written here. That was his capacity. People who read his books today, they look at it, his books are a testimony of what kind of work he has done, mashallah. So if he is doing such kind of a thing, his having a sumptuous, expensive breakfast is 100% reward for him. Because he is doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he is not taking this kind of a breakfast, he will not be able to exert himself mentally and achieve that kind of task that he was doing. He used to give an example, and the real reason Hazrat Sufia say that this habit of having a bad thinking about somebody, it's just a major thing, it's a serious thing. I heard about one shaykh. He was a great shaykh and he had a lot of murid, and there were so many people that he was training. And at one time, he went into the masjid and saw a young person praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, crying. And for a fraction of a second in his heart, he thought that this person is showing off. He's not really crying before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's only showing off. For that fraction of a second of a thought that he had, I think, if I remember correct, for 40 days he was not able to wake up for tahajjud. For 40 days, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him miss his tahajjud as a punishment for this very small bad thinking that he had for others. So anyway, and this springs from arrogance, from having kibr. Because if somebody does not have arrogance, then they would feel that they are the worst in all terms, right? When they feel that, they will simply not have time, they will simply not have the mind to look for others' faults. This share of Bahadur Shah Zafar, that is favorite of my Hazrat as well, that नथी हाल की जब अपने खबर रहे देखते औरों के ऐबो हुनर. As long as we do not know what is going on, what is really happening with us, we were looking for faults in others. नथी हाल की जब अपने खबर रहे देखते औरों के ऐबो हुनर. हुई जब हाल पर की अपने खबर तो निगाह में कोई बुरा ना रहा. When we got the news, when we started to realize what are we in reality, everybody became pious in our eyes. Nobody remained sinful in our eyes. Everybody became pious. Everybody became somebody who's higher than us. So this thinking bad about others, it comes from kibr, from arrogance, from thinking that you are something and you are able to judge others. You are able to judge others. And not only the rule of Islam is that the fatwa of Umar radiallahu anhu is a very important, useful fatwa, that when it becomes necessary to judge people, we will judge them based on their zawahir, based on their appearance. When it becomes necessary, for example, you are a judge in a court, you will judge people based on what is apparent, right? What is going on in the heart of someone, we have no idea. We have no idea. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept it secret. It's a matter between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the slave. If his zahir, if apparently he's doing something bad, doing something haram, we will think that haram thing is something that should not be done and we'll try to stop them, we'll try to correct them. But especially if somebody is doing a good thing, we cannot think that they are doing it for some other reason, for some bad reason. We will judge based on what we see, and we will have a good mind about them, good thinking about them. Anyway, so there is because of this arrogance, we become blind. We become blind to our own faults, and all our life is spent finding faults in others, while we'll be judged on how we did. This kibr, it makes us blind, just like Hazrat Ibn Umar rahimahullah has written an example that there was a woman who was in today's terms we'll say she was changing the diaper of her baby, and as she was doing it, some of it got on her finger. Some of the stuff got on her finger, and then when she went out, she saw the moon, and she put her finger on her nose and said, "This moon is really stinky tonight. This moon is really stinky tonight." So what was really happening? She was so unaware of her situation, and look at what she was questioning. Look at what she was pointing out, like finding a fault in the moon, which is very far away and very high and very beautiful and very bright. But she's saying she has something on her finger, and she's saying that this moon is stinky. So whenever we are finding faults in others, it is in reality our own fault that we are seeing a reflection of. Hazrat Hakim Akhtar rahimahullah used to explain this through another example, that a person who's very ugly, dark colored, he's going and going in a jungle, and he sees a mirror. So he passes by and he sees a reflection in that mirror of a human being, and he thinks that, look, this person is so alone, he is in this jungle all alone, all by himself, so I should help him, and goes and tries to pick that person up. When he sees the reflection of his own self in the mirror, he gets scared, and he says that you are so ugly, that is the reason why everyone left you here. So when we are finding faults in others, it is our own faults that are being reflected. This happens when you are on the right path, when you have something going. This happens even more because the shaitan does not want you to progress on the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you become connected with the shaykh, and it happens almost, I've heard it from almost everyone, that in your earlier days of your connection with your shaykh, when you start going somewhere, when you start sitting somewhere, when you start listening to somebody, when your heart starts to gain some affection from someone, inspiration, what will happen? You will find something you will see, and in your mind you will start thinking that this person has this fault, and this is such a huge fault, this is such a big fault, and then that fault will become big and huge in your eyes, and you will start thinking constantly about that fault and stop getting that benefit that you were getting, and the purpose of shaitan is served. Sometimes in dreams you see your spiritual advisor, your teacher, in a very bad state, because our dreams are like this. 90% of our dreams are shaitani. They are inspired by shaitan. The shaitan has that kind of power that he can mess up with our dreams. Even the good dreams, the shaitan can mess up. You'll be seeing something very good, and then something weird and ridiculous would happen. So the shaitan sometimes shows you your sheikh or your spiritual advisor in a very bad state. Sometimes without beard, sometimes in a very awkward, vulgar clothing. That kind of things. Those kind of things. What is the shaitan doing? He's trying to put zan in your heart. He's trying to put evil thoughts about the shaykh in your heart. So that the connection of love that you may have started to develop, that is going to sever. Whatever you are going to have, that is going to sever. One specific kind of, and I'll conclude with this, one specific kind of zan is prevailing and is striking at the roots of our learning of deen these days. And that is having a bad zan about our akabirin, about our mashayikh, about our great ulama, about our fuqaha, who had learned deen from Sahaba directly, and of course, not only may Allah SWT protect us, but this does not only stop at the level of the people, the general people, but people start to have zan about Sahaba as well. That these people, na'uzubillah, changed deen. These people, na'uzubillah, did not protect deen as they were supposed to protect deen. This is going to, over time, kill our roots of deen. Because if we think that the kind of deen, the kind of understanding the Sahaba had, they did not transmit it honestly from the Prophet ﷺ, then what are we doing? We are striking at the base of knowledge of deen. Similarly, the people who learned deen directly from Sahaba, the Aimma Mujtahideen, the Fuqaha, when we start and we knew for 1,000 years, for 1,100 years, everyone in Ummah agreed that these people have true and correct knowledge of deen, and there was no other way except to follow these Aimma and Mujtahideen. In this 21st century, we start to have zan about them. We start to think bad about them, that these people really did not have the knowledge of hadith. We are basically not harming them. We're not harming them. We are harming ourselves. We are going to lose deen. We are going to lose the roots of knowledge in our hearts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from all misfortune. This is basically all very unfortunate. We should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to correct our understanding of things, and we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from being unfortunate. Because naseeb is a big thing. We should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to write good things for us, good understanding of deen for us, good fortune for us in terms of deen and in terms of dunya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us that. There's other things mentioned in this hadith, and all of these are topics: hasad, having grudges, turning your face away, going and looking for faults of others. Inshallah, we'll continue talking about these in the future majalis. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, salatu wassalamu ala sayyidina wa barakatuh, sallallahu alaihi wa sallam, رب اغفر وارحم وانت خير الراحمين. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Ya Allah, please forgive our major and minor sins. Ya Allah, whatever Ya Allah we've done in private, whatever we've done in public, Ya Allah, whatever we remember, whatever we've done and forgotten, Ya Allah, you gave us the energy for it. Ya Allah, you gave us the blessings for it. Ya Allah, we did it. Ya Allah, we gained the energy from your blessings. Ya Allah, we used your blessings, and Ya Allah, we used them to disobey you, Ya Allah, to commit sin. Ya Allah, we've been very, very, Ya Allah, neglectful and unfortunate. Ya Allah, we seek refuge in you, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we seek tawbah from you, Ya Allah. We seek maghfirah from you, Ya Allah. Please forgive our bad doings, Ya Allah. Please forgive our bad doings. Whatever we've done, Ya Allah, please forgive it. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, turn it, Ya Allah, transform it into, Ya Allah, virtues and, Ya Allah, good deeds, and accept them, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, do not let us, Ya Allah, ever lose our iman. Do not let us, Ya Allah, do not let us run into a situation where following your commands becomes hard upon us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, correct our internal self and correct our appearance. Ya Allah, grant us the value of deen in our life, Ya Allah, the value of iman in our life, Ya Allah. Protect us, our families, our children, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, our children, Ya Allah, they are very badly in need of, Ya Allah, somebody who teach them deen, inspire them towards deen, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we are faulty in that we cannot become that person. We have failed to become that person, that parent that will inspire our children towards deen, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we failed to become those parents, Ya Allah. Please forgive us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, change our heart, change our state, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, grant us that energy, that religious, spiritual energy, that we can inspire our children to follow deen, to care about deen, to value deen in the right manner, to practice deen in their lives. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, please, Ya Allah, whatever hardships we are facing in our worldly life or in the life of the hereafter, Ya Allah, in our deeni life, in our dunyavi life, Ya Allah, please, Ya Allah, transform it into ease. Ya Allah, people have issues with their visas, people have issues with their profession, Ya Allah, people have issues in their family, people have issues with their children, people have issues with not having any offspring, not having any children. Ya Allah, please, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, transform all these hardships, all these challenges into ease, Ya Allah. Those who do not have children, Ya Allah, grant them good, beautiful, obedient children, Ya Allah. Beautiful in terms of deen, Ya Allah. Beautiful in terms of this world, Ya Allah. Grant them children that become assets for them in this world and the hereafter, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, make us, Ya Allah, those who live and die in the love of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who live and die in the effort of deen, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, whatever we could ask, Ya Allah. We do not deserve anything, Ya Allah, but Ya Allah, you are very merciful, Ya Allah. And you have made, Ya Allah, you have given us hope in your mercy, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, through that hope, Ya Allah, through your words we beseech you, Ya Allah, we implore you, Ya Allah. Do not let us, Ya Allah, go empty-handed from here, Ya Allah. Bless us, and Ya Allah, bless us fully, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, bless us according to your station, Ya Allah. Do not look at our evil deeds and our lack of capacity, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, bless us with, Ya Allah, according to your station, Ya Allah. Whatever we could ask, Ya Allah, please grant us that. Whatever we did not ask, we should have asked, Ya Allah, please grant us that. All the goodness and things of khair that the Prophet ﷺ asked for, Ya Allah, grant us those. Ya Allah, all the evil that the Prophet ﷺ seeked refuge from, Ya Allah, please protect us from that. Ya Allah, this is our effort, Ya Allah. This dua is our effort, Ya Allah. And the reliance and trust is upon you, Ya Allah. سمعنا وطعنا وغفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك.